All right, today's car, 2011 Toyota Camry. Customer spilled 32-ounce soda in the center console where the gear shifter is. We're going to show you guys how to remove all the center console hardware, the gear shifter, how to remove all that so that we can clean it effectively. This is not part of our detail. This is just an extra service that we provide. Sometimes details can only get so deep. Sometimes we have to take components off to get everything situated and cleaned out, and I'll show you here on the inside. All right, so we're going to kind of show you the problem that we're having. I have the key. I'll turn it on. Now this is really hard to get. You can see it kind of bending. It's really hard to get that thing down into reverse. And what's happened is some soda splashed, kind of came over, got stuck inside this console here, all inside here. So we're going to show you how to remove that off. It's pretty simple. These ones are actually not too tough. You do need to have the key, and you do need to remove this knob. So first step we're going to do is we're going to just remove this. It's just twist off. Okay. Then we want to just kind of lift this up. Right here we have a little kind of a handle we can grab hold of and just use your fingernails, kind of lift up. Same thing over here on this side. Okay. Now the next step is we want to take these off. Now they're just snap in. I just use my fingernails, get behind it, pull it up. Same thing with this side over here. Okay, now we're just going to pull up the whole thing, open up that door, and it slides up. And we need to move this down so that we can get it out. Now there is a couple wire harnesses right here that we need to remove for the cigarette lighter and the light. So we'll remove those and then pull this out and take it over to the bench. This is pretty simple to remove. All we have to do is pull this clip off, use our little fingernail, push that out, and then we can remove this bezel. Now we still have, the problem is all right in here, okay? Because it's still really hard to get that out and get that in the, down into gear. So what I'm gonna actually do is I think I'm gonna probably remove this housing, see if I can pull this housing up. I've never done one of these before. So I'm going to pull this. I believe I can get this housing up and try to access this so I can get it all cleaned out. Okay, to remove this housing, we have a couple things we have to disconnect. We have three 13mm bolts. Actually, sorry, those are 12mm bolts. We have a wire harness down here on the bottom. We have this light bulb that just kind of quick connects in here. We just twist it out like that. So we're going to zip off these bolts. Just notice that we have one more bolt down here on the bottom. Okay, so we got to turn the key on, slide this back so that we can get our socket wrench down there. And we have to kind of push. There's a little cable. We can't really get you guys down there, but there's a little cable right there that connects to the rod here, the shifter rod, that you kind of have to get out of the way. Now be careful. I put the emergency brake on. You want to make sure that you have the emergency brake set, because once you disconnect this, you may want to go into neutral or even have the wheels chopped. Okay, so it looks like it's coming loose. Okay, so I went ahead and removed a couple things so I could see what I needed to get out. So I pulled this off, a couple snap clips over here, and then the light unplugs over here. I removed that out of the way. This bracket, there's two Phillips screws right here, so that this bracket can come out. Okay. Then I removed the plug down here on the bottom and the plug right here on the back side. Now this thing's pretty much mobile. I just got to release these two clips, and then I will turn and remove and pull this out, this little shaft. I don't know if you can see that, but this just slides up, okay? And then I can release this out. All right, now the next step is to push this little clip down, and then this one little clip right there. That will release the cable, because we need to remove the cable so that we can get this housing out. Okay, so there's the cable. So this is the clip that we're trying to release. There's a clip right on this side and the clip on this side, we just have to push those in, but I can't really get you down there close enough with my hand and get it out at the same time. And then right here, it just slides off. That housing just slides right off there, which I've already removed it. Okay, I released those two clips, so the cable's separate from the housing. Now we can take this housing over to the bench and clean it. All right, so here we are over on the bench, and we have some electrical components in here, so we want to kind of be careful. It was one of the reasons I took it out, so that I can clean all this soda pop out of here and not really affect all of the components and electrical things in here. So what we want to do is I'm just going to spray a little bit of degreaser in here and kind of let it sit. Then I'll come back and just kind of agitate it with the brush. Then I'll blow it out, try to push the debris and stuff down so that it doesn't all go inside. Now we could take out all the electrical components inside here, but I really don't want to go to that extent. We're just trying to clean out the debris that's in there. So that's going to be kind of our plan of attack, to clean in this top part and get it lubed up. Alright, so we're going to take our degreaser on a mist, alright, and just kind of spray in there. I'm going to turn it upside down so that we don't get debris inside the components as much as possible. I could probably have done this on the car, but I really wanted to take it off just so that I had some better access and I could clean it just a little bit better. And then I will be able to blow it off with some compressed air, which inside the car it had just been a little bit harder to do that. Let me go grab the air. Okay, so I'm just going to take my compressed air and I'm just going to kind of blow it out. Okay, now what I'm going to use is just some dielectric grease, and this is actually designed for electrical components. I'm just going to spray a little bit in there, kind of help loosen it up, and it's safe for your electrical switches, things like that, and it's a solvent so it'll help clean. So now I'm just going to kind of test it. It has to go up. So it looks like to me it's a lot easier. There's a little switch in here that I have to push down, but to me it looks like it moves a lot better than it was. I have to push this little switch forward to get it to come down, but it seems a lot better. So we're going to go ahead and put it back in the car. Okay, so I just went ahead and snapped this piece back into position. It just has 3 snaps, and then I put the wire back in for the light. So this is pretty much ready to go. I put this one bolt in here because we need this in place before we connect the rod up. Otherwise we can't get the bolt into place. So I'm going to just connect the rod back up and put everything back together. Alright, now we're going to install this lower piece. Remember we had the cigarette lighter, right? That little clip, and then the cigarette lighter plugs in there. And you have to kind of move the gear shifter back and forth just a little bit. Open up the armrest. Okay. Actually, this front piece has to kind of go in first before you can get the back in. It's kind of tricky. Kind of being stubborn. So let's just double check. Okay. There's a little wire was caught in there. So now this is in place. We can check our gear shift. Seems to work good. Okay. Now we're going to take and put our side pieces on. That one there. That one there. Then we're going to take our gear shifter. Spin that on. And there you have it. Okay. Works just like it's supposed to. So mission accomplished. All right, so we finished it up. Came out good. Took about 2 hours actually to take that apart and fix it and clean it all out. Probably could have done it without removing that whole cluster, but I wanted to be safe. I didn't want to get too much of the electrical wet by cleaning it, but being able to pull it out, I was able to turn it upside down and kind of clean it out that way. So job took about 2 hours. Difficulty skill level probably around maybe 7 or 8. So anyway, hopefully you liked the video. Please rate, subscribe, comment, and follow us at SCOTTY'SMobileDetailing.com. We'll talk to you next week.